You probably can't tell, but we have a lot of flying foxes up in this tree and also up in this tree. And I think it might be my new favorite animal. They're so cool. Like, actually so cool. Hello and welcome to a new video. If you haven't seen my last ones, my name is Neda and I'm currently on a 7-month backpacking trip. Right now I am in Australia and I have been for the past 7 weeks, and right now I'm in Noosa. I just arrived in Noosa today and I don't know if you can tell by the huge fucking smile on my face, but I love this place. It is so pretty. And I've just been here for a few hours. I'm like actually in shock. So I left Byron Bay yesterday afternoon and then I arrived in Brisbane that same evening. I checked into a hostel in Brisbane and slept there for a night, and in the morning I checked out again and took another bus to Noosa. And then I went to my hostel, confirmed that I was in fact not able to check in that early because check-in is between 2 and 8. And the person at reception pretty much just said that at 2 o'clock it will be crazy, everyone will be here trying to check in, so maybe don't. Just go out, enjoy Noosa, and when you're ready to check in, come back, just like before 8 p.m. obviously. These birds are so cool, I freaking can't. Did you hear that? Anyways. These fucking birds! I don't know if you can hear it, I hope you can. This is wild. Anyways, I'm just gonna keep talking. No, like, let's just take a moment. They're somewhere over there, but they are freaking loud. Don't know what they're doing. Don't know if I want to know. It is like 2 o'clock right now, and I still haven't had my lunch. So I thought I'm just gonna go out and find somewhere to sit down and eat my lunch. And I ended up in this amazing park with just like animals everywhere. Just, yeah, no, I'm so happy. I love it here. And so far I've seen like 2 people. That is just my cup of tea. So I brought my towel, I laid it out here, and I am gonna have myself a little picnic. So here is the bread. It's a little smushed, but that is totally fine. We have the yummy spinach dip, a Philadelphia sweet chili cheese spread thing. I also have some of these veggie crackers. I ate some of them in the bus, but I still have some left, so I might have some of those. And if I feel like it, I have a nut butter protein bar, but I doubt I'll eat that now. I'm probably just gonna save that until another time. So I'm just gonna eat some of that and call it lunch, because that's how we do things around here. These are so good. They are honey and soy flavored, which sounds a bit weird, but very good. I love this place. Okay, Turkish bread. I haven't tried a spinach dip yet. I've tried like a lot of other dips from this brand, but not the spinach one, so let's have a little taste test. I like that. I'll give it like 7.5 out of 10. And then the Philadelphia. Haven't tried this one either, actually. Oh shit. It's like very oily. I don't know if it's supposed to be like mixed or something. Obviously, I don't really have anything to mix it with other than my bread. Oh well, we'll just eat it like that. Now I'm gonna shut up and just enjoy. It is almost 3 o'clock right now. I've just been eating my lunch and sitting, laying enjoying the scenery, the fucking amazing nature. It is so good. I'm so happy. No, I get why people really like Noosa. I did too. I wish I was here for a longer time. So I don't really know if I've told you guys, but the reason I'm in Noosa right now is because I'm gonna do the Fraser Island tour, which is a pretty common tour that a lot of people do when they travel the east coast of Australia, and it sounded fun, so I want to do it too. And yeah, that's why I'm in Noosa right now, because Noosa is one of the starting places when you go on that tour. It's either here or Rainbow Beach. So it is the 13th of January today, and like it's kind of mandatory that you spend a night in Noosa before the tour, because they have a pre-tour briefing on the night before, which is tonight at 6 p.m. With the tour that I booked, one night of accommodation is included before and after the tour. So yeah, I do believe I'll head back to my hostel shortly and just like get checked in and everything. And then tomorrow morning at 6:30 we're supposed to be picked up, and yeah, there the adventure begins. I'm excited, but I'm also trying to like not hype it up too much, because the people I've talked with have said that they loved it, but I'm also like trying not to have too high expectations, because then I'm just like scared that they won't be met, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. Like I said, it's almost 3 o'clock, so I think it'll be a good time to head back to my hostel and get checked in. So I'm gonna pack up and get moving. I got to my hostel and checked into my 16-bed dorm for the night, then dropped off my bags in my room, ate some things I'd bought that morning, and afterwards I went out on a little shopping trip. I got really nauseous in the store and just like needed to chill. I have been like on a 2-hour bus today, and I do kind of get car sick. I am sort of in denial of it. I do have like motion sickness medication as well as like the wristbands and stuff, but I'm just in denial. Every time I go on a bus, I'm like, no, I'll be fine this time. And then like 1 hour in, I'm just like, obviously not puking, but feeling not great. But yeah, for Fraser Island, it is bring your own alcohol if you want any. So I think I'm gonna head to the bottle shop and see if I can find something that I want to bring. Now, I'm not gonna bring like a lot of alcohol. I don't really feel like I need to, or I want to like drink a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna head to the bottle shop and see what I can find. And then I'm going back to the hostel, because it is currently almost 5 o'clock. So the briefing is in an hour, and I think I'm just gonna chill for an hour. I think I need that. So that is the plan for now. Let's go to the bottle shop. Okay, so alcohol in this country is freaking expensive. I just bought 5 mixed drinks for $24. Like what? Anyways, heading back to the hostel, and I'm gonna chill for a bit, and then it's the briefing. Woo! I'm a little bit excited, but I'm also very tired. So this should be interesting. I came back to the hostel, joined the briefing, had some dinner, and went to bed. The following morning, I set my alarm to just before 6 a.m., packed a little breakfast, put my main bag into storage, and then we got picked up at the hostel and officially started the tour. This was a so-called tag-along tour, which meant that we were all divided up into 4 different cars and then pretty much just had to follow the car in front of us. The car in the very front was driven by our tour guide, and we were able to communicate between the cars through radio. We started off by driving to the very top of Inskip, where we then loaded all of our cars onto a boat and sailed over to Fraser Island. That's where the fun began, as many of us had never driven on sand before. The briefing we had the previous evening was mostly about the do's and don'ts of driving on sand, so I felt like we all had a pretty good understanding of what we were getting ourselves into. Since I normally live in Sweden, I've been driving in pretty rough snow, and I actually felt like this was kind of similar to that. We just stopped off in a little town, and we are gonna have some lunch right now. But first I need to find a bathroom. After our little lunch break, we kept driving to our next stop on the tour. We are at the next stop, which is Lake Mackenzie. So I'm just walking to the lake right now. It is raining, but I don't really care. It's still pretty warm, so I'm probably gonna hop in the water. Excited. But yeah, it is so beautiful. And I really enjoy it here. I think the lake's gonna be nice. So yeah. Oh, look at it. Oh, that is so beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Look at that water. It's so blue. Now this water is literally so clear. We just stood around in a circle playing some volleyball, and the water was actually surprisingly warm as well. It is a bit windy. It did start raining like I mentioned before, so yeah, no, the water was like warmer than the actual air. So it was really nice to just swim around for a bit, play some volleyball. Yeah. We are gonna be here for like an hour in total, and then we're gonna drive back to the campsite, I think. Or not back, because we haven't been there yet, but we're gonna drive to the campsite. Yeah. This is Lake Mackenzie. Let's walk back to the car to get some dry clothes on, because it is, like I said, a little bit chilly. That's alright. This has been very nice. So far, I'm a big fan. We left the lake and made our way through the extremely bumpy forest, and let's just say, it felt about as rough as it looks on camera. We eventually made it back to the beach, and this is where a lot of us saw our very first dingo. Now, something to know about these creatures is that it is always your job to stay away from the dingoes, even if the dingo were to approach you. You should never feed or leave food out for the dingo to find, as this might lead them to associate food with humans, and thus making them more prone to approach us. If a dingo is involved in a high-risk interaction with a human, it will be euthanized, so please stay away from the dingoes, appreciate them from a distance, and do not under any circumstance give them any food. This could be hard for some, as they might see these thing creatures and think they're helping them by giving them some food, but just remember that your act of quote-unquote kindness could actually lead to them being put down. When we arrived at our campsite, we divided ourselves into two-person tents, had some dinner, and a little evening party. The following morning, we woke up pretty early, had our breakfast, hopped in the cars, and headed towards our next destination. Our first stop of the day was the Champagne Pools. It was extremely beautiful here, and we had a few hours to just sort of swim, explore, sunbathe, and play around.
A lonely wind is passing by, tries to carry all the whispers that it finds.
After that, we got back into our cars again and headed towards Eli Creek.
When we talk, making echoes as we walk. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say.
Just walking along Eli Creek, got my floaty, and we're about to hit the water.
Build a secret place for you and me.
Why am I going into this?
Our minds be caught up
I literally just bumped into a girl that I met at surf camp, a Swedish girl that I met at surf camp, which is so funny. I was just like, hey, I know you. So we just stood and talked for a bit and like caught up on what we've been doing for the past few weeks. Because it has been a few weeks since surf camp. Oh my god. I'm getting winded. I'm walking up like 3 stairs and this is the condition I'm in. This is horrible. But yeah. So that was nice meeting her. And yeah, we're at Eli Creek right now. We just blew up some floaties and went down the creek, and it was lovely. The weather is a bit shit, but it's all fun. So yeah, I'm going to the bathroom now, and then I think we're playing some beach volleyball. That evening, the car that I was in was in charge of making dinner. So we did that and ended the evening off with another little party. The following morning was the last day of the tour, so we packed our things and cleaned our tents before leaving our campsite for the last time. The weather wasn't that good, but we still managed to make the most out of it. We stopped off at the Mahino shipwreck for a bit and took a few group photos before we hopped back into our cars again and kept driving until we reached our last destination, which was Lake Wabi. It was a bit of a walk to get to the actual lake, but the forest was really cozy to walk through, and our guide told us that the rainforest here on this island is the only rainforest in the entire world that is completely grown on sand. He also told us a few other random facts that turned out to be complete bullshit, just to see how gullible we were. So it was actually a bit hard to tell if he was being serious with us or if he was just messing around, but I believe these facts to be true. When we were nearing the lake, we came across these massive sand dunes that were also very cool. Our guide told us that the lake was currently 12 meters deep, but that it loses 0.5 meters each year because of the sand from the dunes, and that eventually it'll probably be gone. We swam around in the lake for a while and were accompanied by what I believe to be catfish. And when we were done, we went back to the cars again and prepared to leave the island. All in all, this was a cool experience, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a few ups and downs during this tour. In a group of approximately 30 people, I was one of the only ones who came onto the tour without a partner or an already existing group of friends. And as somewhat of an introvert, I sometimes find it hard to take up space and be social in these kinds of crowds. Now, I usually don't dislike my own company, but when I'm put into situations where everyone around me are all grouped up and having fun with each other, I can't really help but look at them and wonder why I'm not able to do that as well. And that's when I can start to feel a little lonely. I felt like that the first night, when I was lying in my tent after having left the party early because I simply just felt so extremely misplaced. So I thought about it for a while, and eventually realized that the feeling of misplacement was created from the unmet expectation that I had put on myself. The expectation that I would be and fit in like everyone else. At the beginning of the tour, I was so focused and stressed about making friends that it kinda led me to feel like a failure when I wasn't able to do so. And as cliche as this might sound, I was reminded of the fact that I obviously didn't have to be like everyone else. I realized that I could enjoy this tour without making lifelong friends, and that I didn't have to force conversations where it didn't feel natural. And once again, as cliche as this might sound, I genuinely started having a really good time as soon as I stopped trying to be someone else and just accepted myself for who I was. The slightly awkward, semi-introverted solo traveler on an occasionally overwhelming group tour with a bunch of strangers. Once we came back to Noosa, I got rechecked into the hostel and was reunited with a proper bed that wasn't covered in sand for the first time in 2 days. I need a freaking shower. Now. That was absolutely amazing and exactly what I needed. But now I also have to make a few phone calls and sort my life out, and I'll talk to you guys when that is sorted. Alright, I got that sorted as much as I could at the moment, and I'm feeling so much better now. Kind of. It's still a bit unclear, and I'll tell you why. So as you have probably already gathered, I just got back from the 3-day tour on Fraser Island. It was fun. I liked it. It was a bit overwhelming at times, and like it was pretty intense. We did a lot, and we were just like with this group of people for 3 days straight. So yeah, it was a lot, but it was fun. I had a good time. But yeah, on Fraser Island we did not have any reception whatsoever, or at least I didn't. Some people had a tiny bit of reception, so we've kind of been off grid for the past 3 days, and a lot of the people that are doing the Fraser Island tour right now are also going up to Early Beach for the Whit Sundays in like a day or two. And as we were coming back to like mainland and stuff like that, some of them were like tours are getting cancelled at the moment because apparently there is like a storm going on, so it's not safe to be out in the waters. And we also checked like the Greyhound website, and apparently the buses from Noosa, where I'm at right now, to Early Beach are also partially cancelled because of flooding. So the buses aren't running, the boats aren't going, and yeah, it was just a bit stressful coming back to that and being like, okay, what the fuck do we do now? Because obviously I've planned my trip with that in mind, that I would be staying here a night and then taking the overnight bus and then staying in Early Beach and then doing the tour. And now all of a sudden I might not be able to go to Early Beach and I might not be able to do the tour. So it's like, okay, so do I stay here? Where do I go? Will I be able to go anywhere? Will the tour be cancelled? Just like all these questions. Will I get a refund? Will I have just like thrown $700 into the ocean? So yeah, it's just, it was a lot. It was stressful. It is still a little bit stressful because it's still a little bit uncertain. The Greyhound buses today were cancelled, and I'm supposed to take the overnight bus tomorrow. That has not been cancelled yet, and hopefully it won't be, but I don't know. And I tried calling them and they're not picking up because it's outside of office hours. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see until tomorrow whether or not I will be able to take the bus to Early Beach. I did also call the sailing company that I will be going with, and the woman that I talked to sounded very convincing that the raining would slow down tomorrow and it would clear up by Wednesday, and I'm going on a tour on Thursday. So she said that it was very unlikely that they would cancel the tour. So now my main concern is just how to actually get to Early Beach. Like, will I be able to take the bus? Because if not, I'm not gonna be able to get there. So as you can hear, there are a lot of uncertainties right now, but that is the way of traveling, I guess. This is like the first big hurdle on this journey, and yeah, I mean, it's been 7 weeks, so I mean, I guess it was bound to happen. It is a little stressful though, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm sure I'll be fine in one way or another, and I will sort it out. But yeah, I have one night in this hostel, and tomorrow I'm checking out, and then I guess we'll see if I'm taking a bus or not. Because if I'm not, I'm gonna have to book another night here, which probably won't be possible because I bet it's already fully booked. So I'll just have to figure that out when the time comes. And hopefully I won't have to figure it out at all, because hopefully the bus will be running tomorrow, but we don't know that yet. So yeah, that will be the end of my Fraser vlog. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next one, because who knows what will happen. I surely don't, but we'll find out. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye. This camera is so clogged up. God, I just feel like there are bugs all over me. Just give me a second. Where did I come from?